bait him into saying it in Chinese.
I got it there. Still waiting to see what these last two bans are going to come out from these two teams. A lot of respect actually coming out towards the Viktor being played by Scout in game 1. If I'm not mistaken, they banned Azir. No, it was actually EDG that banned Azir in game number 1. So that's one major control major being taken off the table. Now Lucian is actually being taken away. They don't want EDG to have that being picked up, and Ryze is going to be banned out by EDG.
So immediately they gave away Swain, Ryze, and Lucian. In game 2 on red side, they go ahead and ban those out. See what the adjustment will be.
Saints no longer have those power picks to play with, which EDG gifted over towards them in game number 1. Kindred being banned out with the Ryze means that the most popular first picks are no longer on the table for the lineup, but Nidalee is still there. We could potentially see that locked in for Chimin.
And there you go. You get your Heart's Desire fish.
And it's going to be locked in.
I have to explain this. When Fish saw that Hyper Youth Gaming requalified for the LPL, he's like, yes, Chimin gets to continue to play. And then when he saw that Captain was subbing in on Saint, he's like, no, where's Chimin? Frost, you know how Chimin's doing?
That's pretty true.
In a league with clearlove and Dandy and MLXG and Condi.
Yep. I think Chimin's a god.
Hey, look, it's Maokai and Sivir. We're seeing a completely different comp.
To be fair, though, Captain has been playing well for the Saint lineup. But yes, like you mentioned, Maokai and Sivir are going to be picked up for the EDG lineup. And now they have more of that engage, more of that mobility that you were talking about was missing from game number 1.
No, it was really the question of, I thought secretly going into this, EDG are probably going to test some things out. So we have a kite composition initially, and immediately in game 2, they're like, hard engage composition, 5v5, let's go.
We'll see how that's going to work out against Saints lineup here. Karma is actually going to be taken away as the spot of choice. Spawn, another Spawn reference here. So he's, very vocal about how he likes the Maokai Sivir Karma lineup. Just has a lot of movement speed, a lot of ways to engage onto the backline. As Vladimir is going to be picked up by Saint. We'll have to see if that's going to go to the top or into the mid lane. Like you commonly see him being played as now.
I would love to see the adaptation of taking a Soraka into a Vladimir. Ooh. We haven't seen any Zyra in the LPL yet.
Nope. And it's been a little bit popular in the NALCS.
Do you want to say, though, that I like that Saint took in tandem with Vladimir taking Karma? Because, again, Vlad's one of those issue champions where he needs assistance flanking or he needs assistance running into teams, and Karma's going to augment that with her mobility.
Well, EDG not going to go for the Soraka or the Zyra, instead locking in the Azir that was banned out by them in game number 1, and also going to be taking Bard for meiko in the bottom lane.
Yeah, so long-range initiation, 5v5 is the name of the game for EDG. This is a composition that they're much more comfortable, much more refined and practiced with.
Meanwhile, Saint's going to pick up another power pick for themselves, giving styz his Caitlyn pickup, and are still waiting to see what their top laner or potentially mid lane is going to be if they flex the Vladimir. And that could be the Echo being picked up and being played by Acorn up top against the Maokai, since Swain's being banned out. Another very powerful, strong pick.
My issue with Nidalee and Vladimir is you're still lacking so much CC that, yes, Vlad should passively just kind of win his lane. Could be a top Vlad, though.
Does have the potential to be, as they're hovering over the LeBlanc here and actually going to get locked in. So we are going to see Otto bring the LeBlanc into the mid lane against Scout. And we are going to see a Vladimir go up into the top lane for Acorn.
Bit more kill pressure now available on the map for Saint, as opposed to Vladimir just pushing everyone in and winning.
And won't. EDG lock in Kha'Zix. That's going to be given over towards clearlove. We've seen it a couple of times in the LPL. We've seen it in the EU and NALCS once, I believe. So now we're going to have to see what clearlove can do with this champion in the jungle.
We've seen it in the top lane in the LPL, as well as I think Swift played it once in the jungle and just got obliterated.
That's kind of sums up how it went in the top lane as well when it was played.
It has not had a good record.
Nope, certainly hasn't, but we have to see what clearlove can do with this champion. Interesting picks actually coming out for these two teams. Kha'Zix stands out for the side of EDG. Vladimir, top lane, stands out for the side of Saint.
Well, you have so much freedom to play Kha'Zix in this composition because Saint have nothing to stop him from jumping around everywhere. They have 0 CC. They've got a chain. That is it.
They got a chain, a trap, a couple of slows and roots from Seal as well.
If he jumps directly into a chain or a trap, then he'll blow up. Otherwise,
I think if clearlove jumps into a trap, something's wrong with clearlove then. Not so much something wrong with the spells that we put down on top of him, but EDG, sticking to the guns a little bit more, trying to play more of that engaged, fast, orientated team comp.
Yeah, this is, like I said, other than the Kha'Zix pick, pretty much expected out of EDG, but we're going to find out how he executes it as we're about to get on the Rift.
And we've loaded onto Summoners Rift here for game number 2 of the first match of tonight between EDG and Saint. Lots of changes and surprises coming into their 2 different team compositions coming into this game. Very little crowd control on the side of Saint, whereas EDG, lots of mobility and crowd control and a little bit of a Kha'Zix woven in between.
A little bit of a Kha'Zix. Keystone Mastery is appearing on your screen. Things to note is it's not Battle of Fervor Sivir. It's going to be that Warlord's Bloodlust. Again, using that mastery to help compensate for how late lifesteal is built into Sivir's build path versus the Mad Life special for Karma on Shu there and powering her shields.
Yep, Wind Speaker's Blessing being picked up. Also, we're going to see Kha'Zix pick up Thunderlords in the jungle here. So clearlove looking to be a little bit more aggressive in this matchup. Whereas Chimin, he has picked up Strength of the Ages on his Nidalee, looking to try and pick up a little bit more health as he farms through the jungle.
Deep Invade coming out of Saint. They've got wards on Krugs as Gromp as well. So if this lane swap persists, which Meiko and Deft are rotating up, it is going to be a very early call for Saint. See how they prep their lanes or respond.
For now, though, we have standard lanes being threatened, so to speak, coming up from Saint. Was a lane swap, actually, like you mentioned, being prepped here by EDG?
I feel like there was a missed opportunity on Academy Vladimir to make him into a Slytherin by changing his scarf. Like, I understand the... Oh, God.
Well, we can get back to that analogy later as EDG looking for a very deep invade very early on. Bard with the magical journey. Here comes clearlove, looking to try and take away this Gromp. Boomerang Blade comes out as well. Thunderlords gets put down onto Acorn, but clearlove starts us off with taking away the Gromp camp.
Cheeky little play there. Typically, Bard doesn't perform very well in level 1 in lane swaps, just because his level 1 is so strong on his auto attack. But when you use Magical Journey to set up a very cute invade, things go very different. What this will do is it'll slow Chimin down as well as disrupt Acorn. So initial lead for EDG in their jungling phase.
Lots of trades going back and forth in the mid lane here as Otto jumps straight on top of Scout as soon as he puts down the Sand Soldiers. But like you mentioned, we are going to see a lane swap coming in between these 2 teams. It is going to be EDG sending their AD carry and support up towards the top lane, whereas STYZ is going to have free reign over the bottom lane and try to push that one out.
And they're actually having Mouse jungle by himself. I have a feeling that he just took the 2 little creeps off of the Brambleback. Is that what it's called? Nailed it. Before returning to Bard and Sivir up in the top lane.
And he's going to be able to help out with that push. We are going to see Vladimir slowly move down towards the bottom lane as both the lanes that have been swapped into by both teams are going to be crashing on towards the outer turrets respectively. Top lane is going to get chipped down slowly by EDG, where Saint working towards taking down the bot lane outer turret as well.
And again, the big difference here is actually between the top laners. So Acorn still doesn't have any CS to his name. Both top laners still sitting at level 1. So once these towers are all said and done and everything's dropped down, it's going to be a question of who got the better deal, Vladimir or Maokai?
Meanwhile, in this mid lane, we can already see Scout being very aggressive against this LeBlanc, able to force him out of the lane. There's no teleport for either of these 2 mid laners, so this Otto's going to have a very long walk back towards this mid lane. As EDG are going to be able to take down the top lane outer turret. We should be able to see Saint do the same to the bottom lane outer turret as well.
Did a bit better at juggling their minion aggro than Saint, however. They're actually going to have to use a completely... Another wave incoming. Wow. It's almost like it was pouring down rain today and I can't words.
Don't blame you.
No, this is important though. This doesn't seem like a big deal, but this 10 to 20 seconds, these are the windows of opportunity that elite teams can now open to make a gank on mid, to get a superior dragon rotation, to swap their bot lane quicker, and now the top lane is going to be that much farther behind. It means the difference between a wave of creeps for Maokai versus Vladimir, 1 CS to 6.
You might see Vladimir actually use his teleport to get up into this lane as well, which would be a crucial summoner spell burn, but I highly doubt that, as Chimin dancing with deft there, getting taken down really low. Scout and Otto still trading back and forth in this mid lane. We are going to see the AD carries and supports being swapped around one more time here as deft and meiko head down towards the bottom lane. It's going to be styz and shield for the sign of Saint. Head up towards the top lane to meet this Maokai. Vladimir actually following them right behind.
It should actually be Mouse now resetting his position on the map and walking down towards deft and meiko. Gentleman's agreement. Although he could be caught out.
Shield looking to try and get the jump on towards this Maokai. Mouse getting it locked down by the tether. Ignite actually being ticked as well by Shield. That was rather aggressive coming out from this Karma.
Again, Mouse is level 3. Acorn is still level 1 on this Vladimir. He's got an amplifying tome and some pumas to his name.
Small as that door on Shield to try and help him out a little bit more. Finally hits level 2 here. The Tides of Blood going to be able to help clear out these minions with a little bit of AoE damage. Both teams moving towards the outer turrets on the other lanes they were not swapped into. Maokai opting not to teleport in towards the lane just yet. Instead, going to walk back down slowly.
Yeah, a lot of the advantage caught out here. See if he actually burns his TP to conserve minions for taking down this tower. If he is actually just going to casually stroll down. Kind of careless from clearlove to be caught out on his weak side of the jungle, though, taking some needless damage from chimin.
So far, we can already see some item discrepancies being picked up. clearlove has not been able to go back to base and pick up his next jungle item, still sitting on the Hunter's Talisman. Nidalee already completing hers. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Otto, once again being forced out, only has the double Doran's rings to the double Doran's rings of Scout and the Negatron Cloak as well. Now finally going back and picking up a Fiendish Codex.
Saint have caught up a lot of their missing time, however. Yes, they're still behind in terms of the experience and the CS on their top laner. But the two towers will fall at the exact same time. It does open up space for a dragon take by EDG, however.
And they're going to look to try and take down the Cloud Dragon as the first dragon of the game. Deft and meiko trying to juggle as much aggro as possible. Scout should be able to get some damage down with the soldiers over the pit here as well. And EDG will be able to pick up an objective extra in the name of the tempo they've gained.
Fortunately for Saint fans, it is only the Cloud Dragon, as we quickly see that the Infernal Dragon is next.
That's something EDG would definitely want to try and fight over and pick up. We have to see if they're able to do it as we check back in with the mid lane here. Scout still doing pretty well against Otto here. Otto did pick up the Ignite as his summoner spell of choice. One need to be a little bit more aggressive, whereas Scout has the Barry here, trying to negate some of the burst damage that LeBlanc can dish out.
More importantly, now that the two towers are down, we can check in on the top laners. Acorn has caught back up, still sitting a level underneath Mouse, level 4 to level 3. But has shored up a lot of that CS issue, so not in nearly as precarious a position as he was.
Now with both the turrets going down, it's going to be a little bit more quiet here as Otto actually forces Scout to blow his flash in the mid lane as chimin walks in with a spear, threatening a gank in the mid lane.
They're going to be invading for this blue buff. In response, though, EDG will play to their strong side of the map, and it should just be a trade on the objectives.
Otto now trying to get a gank on towards meiko here. Going to get it locked down by Shu, but Otto takes a lot of damage in return. Ignite is ticking. He's going to have to try and jump out of their shield. Puts the shield down to stop him. Just going to trade summoner spells between the mid laner and the support from EDG and Saint.
With LeBlanc being so low, however, if EDG want to contest this blue buff, they actually can, but instead they're going to go ahead and prioritize chip damage onto the tower. So Otto is not in the lane. He's actually picking up the blue, so it will be a trade for trade, but EDG, again, getting a priority objective out of this.
clearlove was actually able to pick up the blue buff on the side of Saint's jungle. Acorn now trying to pick up whatever experience he can, but there's a Mouse and a clearlove waiting to try and get the jump on towards him. Instead, they're 4 members strong looking to try and take down the top lane in the turret. I don't think Saint can defend this as Mouse jumps in aggressively with a twisted advance, but pull comes out from Acorn to keep himself alive. They get some decent damage down on towards this tower.
They did so in the mid lane as well. So EDG starting to rip Saint around the map and tear them apart by the seams. We talked about EDG really like to elongate their lane phase, but they can play a lane swap, not necessarily known for it. And they're really starting to expose the difference between these two teams and how they work together.
They'll be doing pretty well in game number 2 so far. Already picked up a small goal lead for themselves, but more importantly, do have the tempo advantage like we mentioned earlier and have been able to get some good damage down on towards the mid lane, outer turret, top lane, inner turret as well. So the next trip back in towards these turrets should allow them to take it down. As meiko and Dev, take a magical journey and just immediately walk back.
EDG have to prioritize this because they need this wave to reset, which means they need to get that cannon creep underneath and into the tower. Otherwise, there's no farm lanes for Mouse. So if EDG just went back and reset their map, styz has it frozen on the bottom side, and Acorn could have looked to freeze it on the top side, which is why EDG are being so proactive on this top side.
Good spear comes out from Chimin though. Chunks down deft and also forces him to run away here. He's going to have to try and regenerate whatever health he can if he wants to continue this siege. As Otto moves back towards this mid lane. I think big thing for Saint, if anything, is the fact that styz is going to be able to freeze the lane in the bottom lane and farm it up as Otto jumps back in aggressively. Still has Sand Soldiers poking him down. Tries to trade out with this Azir, but takes a lot of damage in return.
In the end, it really affects Mouse, because Mouse right now doesn't have a good, clear avenue to farm safely in, which is why he's going to continue to either shadow around clearlove or deft. He was actually following deft and meiko back down, but I think he's got his confidence back, and he's walking towards the top lane. Yep, because Acorn's reset it. Ooh, gank on mid. He's just trying to figure out, he's like, where do I go? Can I go top? Can I go bottom? Killed a LeBlanc. He was spotted out by a ward.
Mouse has got his eyes set on towards trying to take down this LeBlanc. So has meiko actually moving his way towards his mid lanes. Otto jumps aggressively forward, takes a lot of damage coming from this from the Emperor's Soldier. This meiko does find shield. The supports are going to battle out towards the bottom side of the jungle.
styz has to be really careful. So EDG, by forcing Otto out because he was trying to bait the gank out of Maokai, he's going to lose his mid tower. And frankly, Saint are just way too slow to respond. And because the wave is now prepped on the bottom, since styz has chosen to freeze it as opposed to assist his team for a CS lead, it now can put him in danger. Some pings did go down bottom, but clearlove's actually going to say, Dragon's coming up in 1 minute 30. I'm going to reset my position and prep for that.
Well, it's a 3-2 turret advantage for EDG after starting this lane swap, and also they do have these single dragons to their names, being the Cloud Dragon. As deft going to try and push this one towards styz's tower and stop him from freezing it any longer. We can actually take a look at the items that have been picked up so far here, as Vladimir looking towards picking up the Protobell as his first item. Maokai opting to go for his boots first with a double Doran's ring, as Acorn now actually getting caught out here. Takes a lot of damage in return from this bot lane duo. May actually force him back to base.
Deft just spell shield the Q.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not an ability that you see. Obviously, it's just a right-click ability, so you're looking at the animation tell from Vladimir. That's like split second.
Well done. Spell shield mechanics. There's actually meiko getting caught out here. Otto jumps on top of him. He's spotted out by the ward there. Stuns him against the wall, but it's not going to be enough. It's first blood. Will fall off towards shield. Here comes Scoutgo trying to get the jump on towards Otto. The clone has been popped. He tries to dash away. Deft is there behind the clone. If he decides to go back, and Scout will be able to pick up the return kill.
Yeah, Scout pulls the trigger, and obviously it means much more to have a kill and pressure on Azir versus your support Karma. So, continued to be good news for EDG. I want to take a moment, though, and I kind of want to criticize styz a little bit. We see this all the time. You cannot freeze like that as an AD carry against a proactive team. There was an issue where Mouse was trying to find a farm lane, so meiko and deft were assisting him trying to reset side lanes before EDG decided to just push into mid lane, seeing that since styz had dedicated himself to freezing the bottom lane, like that action directly caused his team losing mid tower because they didn't have the Caitlyn wave clear available. Like, so selfish, so greedy, and can cost his team so much.
Does have a 30 CS lead over deft, so if he can make use of that, will be helpful, but like you mentioned, has cost his team a lot. We have to see what they can use with it. As Chimin takes the magical journey out here, does get stunned down by meiko. Deft was threatening to put some damage down, and Saint now, they want to try and take down this Infernal Dragon. They've already started it and chipping away at its health bar. Maokai still stuck in the top lane. Mouse will have to teleport into this fight if he wants to go for it. clearlove looks to try and threaten Saint here. Here comes the Temper Fate, lands on the two people. Dragon does fall on towards Chimin though, and here's Mouse. He's teleporting into lane, but EDG, they want the fight instead. Shield, they're going to get locked down. There goes Mouse, flashing forward. styz gets taken down as well. Magical Journey is going to allow EDG to continue chasing as Acorn and Chimin have to run away, so they don't get the dragon, but they get the fight they were looking for.
And the issue was that a pink ward was placed and the vision was controlled by Saint, so EDG actually didn't have the priority ward available for the TP to come in, so just slightly botched there. Obviously, the Temper Fate would have been excellent if it had also hit the dragon. So, lose the Infernal Drake. Good job from Saint there, but in the end, they do clean up the fight.
Well, let's see what they can do with the two members of Saint being taken down here. Magical Journey will put on towards the blue buff here. Will be donated on towards Scout. They've got a big wave up top. And it did look like Otto wanted to try and clear that one out, but EDG responds to it nicely, which was prepped by Mouse earlier before his teleport. They might be able to get some damage towards this turret if the members go up, but instead, Saint able to defend it nicely. Mouse will be able to dodge out the first chain coming out of Otto. The second one will not be able to be dodged out, but the tether comes out from Shields to lock it down. Here comes clearlove though, looking to try and take down Chimin. He's going to jump on top of it, puts a lot of damage down. Meanwhile, Mouse is going to go down. Only the clone gets taken down first as clearlove is going to get rooted up, throws out the W, picks up the return kill to Otto, and Scout is going to be able to take down Chimin in the back lines.
EDG continuing to pull them around the map, and they're not done.
They're going to take down Shield as well as a double kill comes out for the EDG lineup. They find 3 picks for 1. And they're looking to try and take down the top lane in the turret.
And it's because EDG have pressure points in all 3 lanes right now. It is going to be Deft facing across from Acorn, but it's causing Saint to panic and to rotate incorrectly and not bring proper support, and EDG are just finding picks on them. It turned out a little bit messy because initially Mouse is caught out here, not respecting the call that Bard and Kha'Zix had started to rotate back down towards Scout since he had set up his Sun Tower, but a good response to say, okay, Mouse is caught, we need to actually fight this, and then an even better response from Scout to say, okay, I set up the Sun Tower, we were supposed to come mid, but we had to change our priority and look back bottom, or excuse me, top.
And they're able to take down the top lane inner turret on top of that, which they prepped earlier from the tempo advantage they got from the lane swap. So good practice play coming out from EDG so far. They found themselves a 3,000 gold lead over Saint. Single dragon each to both these teams.
Pivoted well. And again, we haven't really seen a lot of mistakes from Mouse. He's actually been kind of hidden from scrutiny a little bit if you compare him across from Koro, but that was just straight up a mistake. But EDG covered for him very well, in particular Scout. Again, EDG wanted to go mid. The Sun Tower was up. They were looking at sieging inner mid. Mouse got caught. They collapsed. They managed to transition it into an inner tower anyway.
Well, Saint now, they're the ones trying to make the proactive plays. They're trying to get the jump on towards Meiko and Scout here. Meiko puts down a magical journey, flashes the opposite way instead, tries to lock down styz and heal himself, but he's just going to be the sacrificial lane, trying to buy some time for the rest of his team, and especially for Scout to get away.
Back-to-back members of EDG getting caught out as they try to set up these rotating plays. Really good reactions from Saint.
They're going to have to pull a few.
They've had enough.
They have to pull a few more of those out of their hat first if they want to get back into this game, though. EDG still the ones controlling the map with their nice gold lead at the moment.
Not controlling it as cleanly as they should. They're not setting up their vision appropriately, and they keep getting caught with Saint getting underneath it.
You know, this goes back to as well, EDG, this is an intimidation match for them. They want to try and prove to the rest of the group that they are the top dogs here. And, you know, Game Talents, they're threatening after their good performance against Newbie and EDG's lackluster performance against Newbie that they could definitely be the top members of this group. You know, this is a statement game. They have to prove that it's a statement game, and they can't make these small mistakes.
At the same time, though, I mean, not a lot of pressure on Saint, obviously. They're not expected to win this game, but they are looking much better in Game 2. Subbing out Chimin, or subbing out Captain for Chimin, and Snoopy for Otto is already a step in the right direction.
And, you know, it's surprising they can look better here, especially due to the fact that Game 1, they were even in gold for so long. Now they're actually behind, but still look a lot better in the matchup.
Also got a lot of comfort champions.
And Scout just pokes out also there, just for no apparent reason, just doesn't like him apparently.
No, it's so Otto can't rotate.
Otto now actually might get taken
down
by Meiko. One more slap's enough, and Meiko finds a solo kill onto the mid laner.
And it's because EDG, they finally corrected their mistake. They prepped their vision better when they're playing in between the lanes mid and bottom. And Scout, by chunking out Otto, means that he can't rotate to assist. So again, the initial play for EDG was going to be on the bottom side of the map. But with Otto being caught out, they just pivoted and moved it into the mid side.
They find a lot of damage on towards both the mid lane turret and the bottom lane turret. They're going to continue sieging both of these objectives. In fact, they still have Scout trying to chip away at the turret in the mid lane. And Chimin's going to be able to clear out as many wards as possible. Meiko trying to find another Cosmic Binding and put some more damage down. Vladimir not having a good time in this lane. Speed's going to come out from Chimin, trying to clear out some of these minions, possibly look to jump on top of Scout.
All 3 pressure points from EDG again, top, mid, and bottom.
And that also means that Dragon's going to be coming up in 35 seconds. That prompts the recalls coming out from all of the EDG members. Go back to base, pick up a few more items before they head over towards that objective. We can actually check in with those pretty quickly here. As we see Scout, he's picked up his Nash's Tooth and also looking towards a Rylos Crystal Scepter next. Has the Leader's Large Rob and the Giant's Belt, as well as a Negatron Cloak to prevent some of the damage. Kha'Zix picked up quite a few aggressive items here, completed his Warrior's Enchantment, has the Serrated Dirk, as well as the Hextrictor coming in for his lineup.
Big issue for Saint right now is they don't have a tank. The fact is that like you said, the Spirit Visage isn't available for Acorn. Even if he goes that route, he could look for the Abyssal Scepter instead. He does have his belt available to him. Whereas on the other side, Mouse, despite being technically down in CS, he has his MR up and available as well as being Maokai. So against the likes of LeBlanc, Vladimir, it's massive for EDG's 5v5. They are the stronger team right now.
And EDG are going to be able to take down an Infernal Dragon for themselves in this match to match up with the Cloud Dragon they took earlier, and also the Infernal Dragon Saint took previously. The fourth dragon to spawn on this map will be an Ocean Dragon in about 6 minutes. And
back to sieging, which means that we should probably see EDG continue to flood all 3 lanes. They are now collapsing towards the prepped wave bottom.
Looking for it. styz gets sped up by Shield, trying to clear out this turret, but Scout's there as well, put some decent damage down. This should fall in favor of EDG. They could possibly start a fight if they wanted to afterwards, but content with taking down the objective. They're now 5 turrets to 2.
And it's immediately back to mid lane and catching Saint cheating through their own jungle on their vision.
clearlove also dodges out the spear coming out from Chimin after chunking him down, forcing him to blow the flash on top of that. EDG looking really strong now. Scout trying to jump on towards Otto, puts the ultimate, throws him backwards. Otto has to try and run away as the soldiers come in one more time. The W comes up for Otto to try and get to safety. Deft trying to chase him down with the on the hunt. There's another chain coming out just to slow down the Sivir a little bit longer. Otto desperately trying to wait the crucial amount of seconds before he can get into turret range. Has the W forward, does get executed. So smart play from Otto, but it's still a member down for the side of Saint.
Cute little play out from Bard though, throwing the Tempered Fate. Making sure that he for sure executes himself. Like, that's the thing. You're like, oh, you know, why do these teams chase so far? That guy's obviously just going to execute. There could just be a chance that if you stop chasing him, he's just going to press back.
Meanwhile, Acorn in a little bit of trouble, getting it locked down by Mouse. Here comes clearlove. Oh, he already used that Proto Belt to try and get away. Acorn trying to heal up with the Crimson Rush. Here comes Shield as well, trying to lock down the tanky member in the front line. Chimin's there as well now. Mouse might be in a little bit of trouble, but does have members to try and back him up. Meiko takes a spear to the face, and EDG decide not to continue chasing.
They do no damage to that Maokai. He's level 11. With Spirit Visage and Merc Treads up and online. Against the likes of Nidalee, Karma, and Vladimir, he's just going to laugh the whole way.
That's exactly what Mouse did there, but they weren't able to find a pick. EDG still 5,000 gold ahead of Saint. It's in a very comfortable spot for the All-Star roster.
Identifying where EDG are going to go next, it's again this mid lane. Typically, they like to do this by pressuring all 3 waves, so Saint have actually done a good job getting underneath EDG and like running to waves, pushing them forward, and then running away, which is what Otto's actually doing right now. So it's forcing EDG, instead of just consolidating all of their members in one lane that they want to push, to reset their side waves, which is losing them a lot of momentum and time with their gold lead.
Meanwhile, also trying to push out this bottom lane for himself. Trying to find whatever advantage he can for the Saint lineup at the moment, but things just don't look great for them right now.
They're doing a good job stalling.
But they're only slowing down the bleeding, not stopping it completely.
Yep.
EDG still look to try and find objective after objective, and it's 22 minutes into the game, so Baron is up and online. EDG could definitely turn the tides on towards that objective and try and take it down. As now Shield gets jumped on. There goes clearlove onto the wall as well, looking to try and pick up a pick. Zonya's actually going to have to be popped there by Chimin. He tries to run away. Scout in the meanwhile picks up a pick onto Shield in the back line. It's going to be Acorn that gets jumped on. Temper Fate is going to get dodged out by the remaining members of Saint, but they still find a crucial pick onto the support.
It's about what EDG are going to do with this, however. They don't have enough sweepers, and they haven't cleared out enough vision. They do have vision over the Baron pit, but you have plenty of ways to check. Just like that with the spear.
As the spear comes out, max range props to Ulan's Echo, and now Scout actually getting jumped on there by Otto, but he's still chasing him down. LeBlanc gonna get taken down there. styz in the meantime does find a turret for himself, but EDG get another pick.
And now back to the Baron. This time around they're going to go ahead and start it up. Should note Scout's positioning behind the pit, not in it with his team.
EDG though going to start the fight. Mouse flashes aggressively forward, gets the root down onto styz. That's the AD carry, going to take it down by Meiko. Acorn trying to take down clearlove at the back lines, pops down the pool, does have Crimson Rush to try and heal up. Will be able to take down Meiko here. No, Tides of Rush not going to be able to connect with Scout. Meanwhile, takes down Chimin. Here comes clearlove, takes down the Vladimir, and Shield is going to get jumped on after the reset. And it's a double kill coming out there as they do get the ace on towards Saint.
Meiko, how are you alive? He's running around with literally 30 HP, but EDG, they bait the Baron twice, Snake fall for it both times, and it will mean the purple monster falls.
I'm already taken down quite low here. Otto No summoner spells to get back towards this pit fast enough. Meiko throwing another cheeky cosmic binding towards the pit to take it down, and that's a Baron buff going on over towards EDG.
And naturally, this will make sieging up that really low health inner mid tower much easier. So EDG reset the map. Dragon will be spawning in 1 minute. They have their pick of the litter about where they go next.
It's 13-3 on the scoreboard. As we take a look at the damage dealt in that last team fight, clearlove standing out there on this Kha'Zix has really been able to execute people that have been isolated in these fights, and no damage coming out from Otto.
There's nothing that they can do against the Kha'Zix. They don't have any CC on their comps. This is back-to-back that Saint have no answers for assassin play.
And now EDG is going to be able to take down the mid lane inner turret. Chimin's been locked down by the Temper Fate coming up from Bard. Scout going to try and Sumer shuffle into the fight. Shield gets caught out one more time. He's going to be able to speed himself up, but that's lots of slows coming out from the Ryze Crystal Scepter. Cleared up, going to be able to get the jump on towards the support. Scout, should be able to pick up this kill. And he goes godlike in this match.
And they still have 20 seconds to spare if they want to continue to siege towers before they need to fall back for the Dragon. Looks like they're going after the Baron inhib.
They're going to try and siege out this bot lane inhibitor turret. Traps have been put down by styz to try and stop the advances coming out from EDG. They do have some nice wave clear and ways to get towards these turrets without going over them. It's just going to be Mouse. Tanks out one of them. It provides an opportunity for EDG to try and get towards this turret. This turret already getting worked at towards by EDG's lineup. Deft pops on the hunt, trying to get onto it. You do see the ultimate being used there by Acorn, looking to try and get into the fight. Otto is able to take down Mouse, but gets taken down. Chimin, gets taken down by clearlove after he comes out of the stasis. And they trade 1 for 1 and still looking to try and take down this turret.
But the tower is still standing, and that's the big key thing.
Scout actually going to get taken down. Otto gets taken down there by Deft. Prompts to jump in, coming for clearlove. He jumps, gets the reset onto Shield as well. Double kill comes out for clearlove, and that's 4 members dead for the lineup of Saint.
And again, there's nothing that Saint can do to stop Kha'Zix once he gets those low resets and is reached to the back line. It's now Acorn's in trouble.
He's getting jumped on there. Clearlove tries to find the execution there, gets jumped one more time, flops in, gets the kill. Clearlove picks up the ace. And EDG able to find the first inhibitor for themselves.
Is this the statement you were looking for, Fish?
I think so.
We talked about how the initial game, the extended lane phase from EDG that they like to prioritize actually hid a lot of Saint's weaknesses because they are experienced players. EDG this time around initiate a lane swap and have yet to turn down the gas. They are going full speed ahead and just running Saint over.
7-0-6 on clearlove. Scout with another fantastic performance. 7-0-7 as another Dragon falls in favor of EDG. It's 4-19 in terms of kills here. 11,000 gold lead for EDG at the moment and 7 turrets to 3. EDG looking really commanding in game number 2.
Clearlove's KDA also looking very nice on this Kha'Zix pick. The first time to make it work in the LPL.
He's going to be able to buff up his already dominant KDA in the KDA rankings after this matchup if he continues on this track.
Oh, I know Swift is jealous. Why does he get to play Kha'Zix?
Well, this is why. You can do the same performance, Swift. Go ahead.
Again, just have to criticize Saint's comp. Don't have a lot of options for Kha'Zix jumping around. They lack control. I don't know if it's Acorn. Like, Acorn on Samsung Blue was known as this tank player, role player for his team. Yes, he has the mechanics that he can play a carry-oriented role, but that was never his identity. Big Rumble player. Had a lot of Maokai in there. And yet he's like, no, Swain, Vladimir only.
That's all he's been playing so far. Just hasn't been working out for the Saint lineup as Meiko steps on the trap, takes a little bit of damage here, but EDG, they want to look for a fight, it seems. There goes a human plague being put on top of 3 members. Deft going to try and take down Econ as soon as he comes out from the pool. As styz going to go locked down by the Temper Fate. He's going to get taken down next here. Mouse looking towards the back line. It's a double kill going on towards Deft. He's trying to look for more as Meiko picks up the kill on towards Chimin. Scout is able to take down Otto as well. And that should be game for EDG. They work towards the Nexus turrets and they should be able to pick up game number 2.
2 very different compositions and 2 very different styles. EDG do make a statement on Snake. It's that they are versatile.
And that is the turret, the Nexus. That's going to be taken down there. Cheeky flash from Mouse as well. Meiko, he's definitely been fighting. It's a happy birthday signs are coming out as well. And what a fantastic performance coming out from EDG.
The birthday boy on his Bard.
He got a few solo kills for himself as well, so gifted himself a couple of presents.
He killed a LeBlanc. Now, very impressive finish from EDG. I mean, game 2, it's much easier to see. We kind of talked about this at length, this idea that the extended lane phase hides what Saint are poor at or what they need development with. But you have to say, EDG, they don't just play one style, they don't just beat you one way. I think Team WE and Vici Gaming kind of fall into that trap. Same thing with Newbie. The reason why they're a premier team in the LPL is because they can choose where they beat you and how they beat you.
And you know, EDG very happy with that win. You can still see smiles in the lineup of